Crypto gaming has never been easier. Polemos is here. Get started your way. Create an account seamlessly with multiple login options, including your preferred wallet or social accounts. Get educated here. Dive into our comprehensive university content and master the gains. Find your community. Make friends, join guilds, and engage in a growing network of gamers and crypto pioneers. Buy crypto effortlessly on our platform, your gateway to the gaming universe. Load up on the best in-game assets, rent, stake, and maximize your potential all in one place, the Armory. Polemos is your all-in-one platform for the future of gaming, and it's just getting started. Polemians, long time no talk. It's been a little bit since I did a
live stream here, just trying to get back into the flow of things. We've got some exciting times ahead of us, and you're going to see a lot more of these events on a weekly basis. We're really going to try and ramp these up so that we're just engaging with our community that we've now brought in from Web 2 and a whole bunch of new players that will be coming in the near future. But thanks everyone for joining today. We're going to be going over quite a bit. We've got a pretty long agenda, actually, real quick, so I'll just go over what we're going to talk about. So we'll quickly just go over, what we've built so far, where we're at currently. We just had our TGE, and it was really, really exciting. A long build up to it. It'd been, delayed for a while, and that was something that everyone was a little bit upset about, but we finally got it launched, and now we're at this point where we're taking all the funding that we got from there. We're starting to expand our team. I'm going to talk about some of the new hires we've got. We're in just about the future of our roadmap. There's a lot of things that are going to be exciting. And then specifically around community, we're really going to start ramping things up. There's going to be so many more events in the near future. It's going to be a lot of fun. So that's what we're going to be talking about. There's going to be a big a giveaway for 150 PLMS. We'll have that towards the end. We're going to do a marbles race. However, it looks like there's an issue with Twitch. I'm not sure what the deal is there. I might cut that out. I'm not sure why that's an issue, but I don't want to deal with it. So we may end up just doing a giveaway on YouTube or in the Discord. So that's what we might do. We might just do a wheel of names kind of thing there. So that's what we'll get that PLMS to you guys. Thanks for watching. So what I'm going to do real quick, I'm actually just going to stop the Twitch stream. Not sure why that's not working, but it doesn't look good. So that's now off. We're then going to also talk about what we're going to be doing specifically this week. So moving forward, we're going to have a pretty regular schedule, trying to bring people in, educate them, show them a cool Web 2 game, have some fun playing a party game, and a couple other things. So that's something that we have planned very soon. And then we'll end with some Q&A. Obviously, you guys can ask questions throughout the AMA. Let me know what questions you guys have about Polemos and how we can start to really ramp up and accelerate as we start to onboard a lot of these new Web 2 players that are going to be coming from our massive network from Buff Gaming and a couple other ones that haven't even been announced yet. So we've got a lot of players that will be inbound, and we're going to need a community that's ready to engage with them, play with them, and just have a really good time. So that's where we're hoping that we're going to start having a much more active player, and that's why we're going to be really ramping up on the number of games we're playing, what we're spending our time on and doing stuff. So yeah, we're just about to get started though, so this is going to be a really, really fun time. Now, let's jump into just real quick saying thank you guys so much for the support during TGE. There were so many content creators that actually did really, really good videos about us, and that was really, really cool. We also have someone in our chat here that joined us in the Discord. I'm in the Discord right now as well, and he's deafened, so he wouldn't know what I'm saying anyways. But yeah, so we've got just a huge thanks for everyone that's supported us. If we now transition, I'll change my screen to what we're currently discussing, which is our platform. So PLMS is live. You can buy it on MAXC or on Uniswap. We're looking at 80 cents or 0.08, so an eighth of a cent, or 8 cents per PLMS. We launched at 0.038, so we're at 2x that, so that's pretty good. Seems to stabilized, but obviously we want there to be more volume. We want to increase that price, but for now it's just trying to retain the people who have gotten interested in Polemos and start to show them what's really cool about what we're building. So that's what you're going to want to expect. And then, yeah, so just a reminder, we're going to be giving away 150 PLMS at the end for whoever's still around. So make sure that you stay there for that giveaway. So now I'm just going to kind of walk through our platform, go through everything that's kind of live right now and discuss what's cool about what we're doing. So, referring back to our mission is to be an onboarding catalyst for traditional gamers into the crypto gaming space. And we have a lot of different ways we're going to do that, but it starts off with education. We're going to have our university where we'll have a variety of courses for each of the games potentially, and just really good crypto beginners courses, crypto mindset. It looks like my internet's struggling a little bit because I'm streaming a lot right here, but yeah, so there's a lot of cool little education pieces that we plan on bringing to the space to help people feel less uncomfortable about crypto. There's still that stigma about NFTs and gaming, so we hope to be the place that really fixes that and helps people understand that, hey, NFT games are not a scam. Oh, and we just changed the screen there. Oops. Let's fix that real quick. So we'll go back here. And so that's something that we really want to do as time goes on. So expect to see more and more courses as we start to educate. We're also going to be holding workshops and little AMAs, bringing in very talented, educated people in the crypto industry to share some of their insights so that you can better, equip your own knowledge, maybe even bring in technical analysis if you want to do some trading on these gaming coins, or just, really taking someone from their bank, having some cash, some fiat currency, and be able to change it into cryptocurrency, be able to connect the dApp to one of these games, and be able to actually just interact as if this was a very seamless process. And so with that, we're also going to have our own onboarding and offboarding, so you can buy, sell. We try to make this as easy as possible, and when I get to our roadmap, we're even going to be expanding upon this offering. We have our swap, and this isn't just a swapping token. It's actually a bridge also. So you can go from Ethereum to Solana, Avalanche, BNB. We really want to make it so that you don't have to go to all these bridges everywhere. It is such a complex process, and you're not sure how to do it. If you just had one easy place to just select tokens from Ethereum, swap them to Solana, boom, done. And so that's one thing that we're building here at Polemos to really reduce that barrier of having to know all of that stuff that comes with just trying to get tokens. That's like the bare necessity. It's kind of something you need to know. And then once you get tokens, we have our marketplace. This was the main functionality that we provided at the beginning, and that was to be able to borrow and lend out NFTs, gaming NFTs. This all stemmed from back when you had Axie Infinity, where these cost literally $1,000 to set up a team, and now maybe it's still $50 is too much for a traditional gamer. We need to break this barrier down so that, hey, I want to try Alluvium. I want to have this Octius, this awesome stage 2 tier 5 alluvial with all of these cool stats and whatnot, but I don't want to spend a whole bunch of money. $1.5 for a day. Okay, yeah, I'll try that out, and then that gets them hooked. And then they're going to want to buy a full team and actually interact with the entire Web3 industry the way that it should be. So that's really what our main goal is, and hopefully we can deliver on that as more and more games get locked in. As you guys can see, there's already quite a few games that we have on here. We now have Third Kingdom, Arena's Faith, Guild of Guardians, and then we're just going to keep adding more and more as time goes on, and across all the different chains. So, right now we're on the Root Network with the Third Kingdom, Futureverse. The Readyverse is going to be coming out soon. It's super exciting. We've got IMX, which has got Alluvium. We got IMX ZKVM, which has like Tokyo Beast, Guild of Guardians, a lot of those other games. And then we have Polygon as well, but there currently isn't any game that we really have assets that we're lending out. But that is the goal with the marketplace, so that's going to be really exciting as time goes on there. Now, what's next? And if you guys have any questions, feel free to ask. Obviously, there's, I'll save some of those till the end, but and maybe we'll answer them as we go through. But so we help them get onboarded by letting them borrow and lend out their assets, and then we allow them to get rewarded for just interacting and playing with the community. And this is how we're going to start to retain them. You have your daily login. That's something that you just want to come into the Polemos Forge, be able to hook those up, and then we'll have beginner rewards. Just it's your simple questing platform. But then as a game gets closer to one of their big pushes, their big marketing launches, we're going to have campaigns specifically for that game that'll drive you to go win X amount of games in their arena, or collect this many of their creatures in the game. And we'll kind of do rewards and campaigns like that should help really tie everything together and make it so that players are incentivized to test it out, and then they're going to find a game that they like. And then what we're going to be doing is trying to partner with guilds and gaming DAOs all across the ecosystem, and then helping funnel these players into whatever guild that they're most interested in. So I'll be going over that momentarily. We'll also just be covering our regular content as we used to, making sure that we're covering all the news, what's interesting about it. Obviously, we have our PLMS Live is the biggest update that we've done recently. But as new gaming news comes out, we'll definitely be bringing that up and talking about what's cool in the industry. And then obviously you have the PLMS. You can go and stake all of your PLMS there, so that's going to be really exciting. And then as time goes on, we're going to get more and more partnered games in here. So there's going to be quite a bit that will be growing in the next couple weeks and months. And what's cool about it is with the TGE, we got a whole bunch of new team members that helped us expand our team so we can start to accelerate. And so we have 4 key hires that we've gotten recently. One is our Spanish CM. If you haven't seen him, that is Sebastian. He's been killing it, really bringing in the Spanish community. We had a big push from a lot of the Wayfinder content creators, and so that built a large amount of players that came in to our ecosystem, and just really playing and hanging out with us. So Sebastian's leading that. It's really cool to see him do. There's actually been another Gamenight. Later on, it's going to be at 12 UTC, or 0 UTC, sorry. So midnight here. I will not be playing, but I'm excited to hear how it went. So that'll be also in the Discord. So if you guys are interested, you can definitely show up for that. I don't know what game he's going to be picking. He's probably going to try and find something that's more interesting for the Spanish communities. Speaking of games, right now, so every week, we're going to start doing a game of the week. And so right now, I've got 14 games here. If you, whoever's watching right now, feel free to comment what other game should we add. I want to have 15 on here, and I wanted to get the 15th one from the community. So if you see a game that you really like that's not on here, start chatting, get it in there so that we can add that to this list, and then we'll spin this wheel every week. Unless a partner of ours wants to push their campaign or something, then we'll focus on them for that week. But we're going to start doing this as a random kind of just fun way to introduce these different games to all of the new players that will be coming in to the ecosystem. So that is what we got for right now. So you see we got a lot of really, really fun games there that have been in the space for a while, and hopefully they will continue to grow. But back to our agenda. So yeah, we got our Spanish CM, Sebastian. We hired a new growth lead, which is just like a bulldog. He's going to go out there and talk to basically every partner potential, like someone who is even just doing something gaming remotely. We'll try and get a conversation going, see if there's any synergies, and try to work together. We want to be that hub that really does help connect all of the pieces, all of the games to the players, and make it a really fun and engaging space. So that's our growth lead. We got an SEO manager in. We want to get our Polemos at the top. Obviously, we're already there for if you just search Polemos for Google and stuff, but we want to be able to do that for all of the keywords. And then on top of that, we have AI. You have ChatGPT, Gemini, all of these other AI LLMs coming out, and we want to be at the top of those too. So we want to figure out how to game that, how to make sure that Polemos is at the top of all of these search paths. So that's something that we're going to be focusing on too in the near future. And then we also got a new senior front-end engineer, and our tech team is already quite expanded. We've got a lot of really good professionals there. So having one more on the front end will help us really start to scale that, and then we'll just keep pumping these out, getting more chains, more games on the Forge. We're also going to have a lot more engagement in the near future. I'll talk about some of those cool ways that we're going to try and engage players as time goes on. One thing I want to also point out is our current metrics. So you'll be able to see this. This is our KPIs currently. Not KPIs, but what's currently on the Forge. So we have this TVL, that's total value locked. So this is the assets value for like floor prices of NFTs that are currently staked on our marketplace. So we have 1.5 million roughly staked right now. So that's awesome. Total transactions, and this is just starting over the last couple months. I think maybe like a month before TGE we started tracking this. So it's at 4,213. We want to do a lot of that. We want to expand that by 10 to 100x. So we've got a lot of plans to start incentivizing doing trades and stuff like that, and then also working with games to make fun events that actually make it meaningful to rent out different assets and stuff, improve your chances for different competitions and tournaments. So total users, we've had a massive growth before, which is also pointed out some things that we needed to be improved on the Forge. So the last 2 weeks or so have been mostly focused on just fixing any small bugs that might have came up, or ways that we can optimize the platform so it's better for any of the users. So that's what a large part of our day has been about for the tech team, but we're also still building a bunch of new things. So that is our KPIs, our metrics that you're currently seeing. And obviously you've got the PLMS token right there. So super exciting to see what we're doing there. And then we're going to talk about what's coming next. So, we've got a long-term vision. We've got a lot of things to plan for as we go into 2026. And so one of the things that I already kind of hinted at was our on and off ramp. We want this to be improved. We're going to be adding another service provider in the near future so that you can also be able to do this with more banks, more countries, and hopefully it'll be an even more seamless process, because if you can't do that initial step buying some crypto, it can really turn a lot of people off. And so we hope to be able to build something that really keeps them hooked, really like, okay, that was seamless, that was super easy. And so that's what we really want to engage there. And we got a comment from Barabank. Hi, could you briefly explain the utility of PLMS and the incentives are for holding it? So we've got a bunch of different ways that transactions will take place on our platform. So if you want to buy and sell tokens, there might be potential discounts. In the marketplace, you can buy with PLMS. We're planning on making it basically the utility token of our platform. And so you can come in as a new player, just buy PLMS, and be able to do everything in a gaming ecosystem. You don't need to own any other token throughout the entire GameFi space to be able to play any game you want. And that's cross-chain, that's cross-compatibility. It's just like the long-term vision is that token will be the lifeblood. We have governance, we have staking. Our staking is pretty excessive right now. There's a huge APR there, so you could potentially be earning stacking a lot of PLMS. So that's kind of what we're at for our current token. We're going to be expanding upon that with our tokenomics. You can definitely read all about our tokenomics on our website. I believe it's in the About Us section. You can click there and find a nice little graph that explains what the utility is. But we're going to be expanding that. We are, considering it and also a burn mechanic to help drive some value or some supply shock is what we're trying to do there. So there's a couple different things we have planned for that, but the PLMS token is meant to be a utility token for the entire ecosystem. I know that's maybe not what you were wanting. You wanted more depth, but we will be expanding upon that very soon. So I'm going to keep that one a little bit quiet for now. Thanks for the question. So what's coming next? So we've got that new on and off ramp that we're going to be building out. The other important thing, once you create an account, you guys probably have already noticed this if you've connected, you can have multiple wallets, you can link anything else, you can go email, social login, MetaMask, Future Pass, the IMX Passport, you can connect all those. Instead of you having to make those and connect them individually, we want it to be an auto wallet created, so it automatically generates everything. And then this is going to be really useful for like later on in life. Maybe a player came in, they just came in for off the grid. That's all they wanted to play. And so that they were playing off the grid, and then they decided, oh man, there's a new game on Polygon that looks really interesting. I want to play that shooter now. That looks like a fun extraction shooter. And instead of them having to go and make a new account, they could quickly just be able to hop in and play. So, and I see someone else is here. I'm just going to talk to this guy. Hey, Theo. Just want to let you know I am streaming, so that's where my voice is. I'll open up now, and I see you're not deafened. But we're just going through the AMA right now. If you have any questions, feel free to chime in. But we're just trying to hang out. So as we talking more about the accounts, our goal is that you can, as a new player coming from Web 2, you'll just be able to make a Polemos account. You'll have your Polemos wallet, and then with that, it will be able to connect to every chain in the ecosystem that has any game worth of any value. So that's kind of what we're trying to push for in our long-term vision, that our wallet will be this omni wallet, the ultimate gaming wallet, that you just put your PLMS in there, and you're able to just play any game just using PLMS. So that's kind of what the goal is there for that auto wallet creation. Next big thing that we're going to be pushing for is an expansion on our marketplace. Can't get into it too much, but there's going to be some pretty exciting things that'll be happening around the marketplace. Expect that in the next month or two. That'll bring a bunch of utility both to the token and our ecosystem as a whole. And remember, our goal is to help that transition from Web 2 to Web 3 as seamless as possible. So think about what could be in a marketplace that could help you, just interact with any of the NFTs and stuff like that. The next thing we're going to be doing is on our games page. You guys might have seen that we already have this set up where you can, start to see what games are in the ecosystem. We're going to try and only list games that are actually decent and games that are not trash. Like some of these other GameFi game launchers, they're just they just list anything that'll ask them or pay them a little bit. We really want to try and keep this at least to like a game that's kind of fun, or at least has some cool game mechanics. And so we're going to be listing our games here, and then we'll have a game launcher so that you can also trust that these games are not going to, run a Bitcoin miner on your PC or other things. So we're going to try and help, reduce some of that fear that some of these Web3 games, especially when you're just downloading some executable file and you don't know if you're going to get your whole wallet drained. So that's kind of what we're trying to do. You can quickly also choose to borrow and buy tokens of this game. So that's something else we want to do. And then on each of these games, and this is long term, I don't have a timeline on this, and I'm always the one pushing the scope. I'm like, hey, I want this, and then the Carl, our CEO, he's pushing his ideas, and our tech team's just like, you guys are crazy. There's no way we can get this in right now. But eventually what I want to do is each game page, players will be able to go in and rate the game. They'll be able to write a small blog about it. They'll be able to have a conversation and talk about what's good, what's bad about the game, and have a better discussion. And then that way a new gamer comes in like, hey, what's Alluvium? They click on this, and they'll be able to read through all the information about what this game is. Obviously, we have a lot of YouTube videos on a variety of these games, and we'll be directing players to those YouTube videos for the initial content, but we want that content also embedded on the Forge so that they can quickly just see this as one massive place just to get all your gaming information. So that's the game launcher. Should be pretty exciting. And then one thing that we've talked about for a long time is on the marketplace, instead of you choosing your price, which is actually now how we have it, originally we were setting the price for you, but some people wanted the ability to set their own price, so we're letting that happen. But then we're also going to introduce our adaptive pricing. That's something that we're still really, really bullish on. We think that, a massive whale who has thousands of these assets, they're not going to go through each individual asset and list them for some price and then also be checking it every day to make sure that that price is where it should be. We're going to have an adaptive, AI-driven, potentially asset pricing package where you just go, hey, set it to Polemos' recommended price, and it'll automatically update, making sure. And maybe there'll be options like, hey, I want it to be sold as quickly as possible. I want it to be sold for the highest value. And maybe there'll be different toggles and levers you can mess with to help optimize either your yield or your time or how quickly you're trading those assets. So that's something that we're really exciting. And so that's our near-term kind of roadmap. We will be posting a major roadmap of everything we're going to be doing over the next couple quarters. That'll be coming out fairly soon, hopefully in the next couple of days. So that's what we have in the near future. If you guys have any questions, love to hear your thoughts and how to make it better. I also see 2 new comments. I'll ask this. So we got someone, the Great, sorry, I don't know how to pronounce your first name, but has the swap function been fixed? I'm from the Moon Game. Okay, nice. Well, welcome from the Moon Game with Charlie and Miguel. The swap function should be okay. I haven't heard any issues. Have you filed a issue with it, like going from like ETH to? I think I did an ETH to Solana just a little while ago, and it was able to go through. Not on this browser though. Sorry. But yeah, if you have any troubles, please either on the website, we have our little AI bot right here. You can talk to him and be like, hey, I want to report an issue. And if there's an issue, feel free to put that in there, and then our support team will get back to you to make sure that that's going through. I want to make sure you guys are able to swap. That's one of the key functionalities I think is really, really cool about what we're doing. So I want to make sure that's working for everyone. And then Sabri001, is it now possible to withdraw PLMS from MEXC to the Polemos wallet? I don't have an answer for that. I didn't know that you couldn't. So I'll take a note of that. I'll definitely ask our team what that situation is. I didn't know that you couldn't do that. MEXC withdraw. Okay. Thanks for asking that question. And I mean, what games are you guys playing right now? I want to hear from you guys. I've been out of the loop in the actual gaming space for a couple days now, or a couple weeks, sorry. And I want to hear what are the good ones now. What are you guys really bullish on? Is there a specific game we should be really pushing to make sure that we get on our Forge in the near future? Give us some comments below so we know what to be tracking. And then we'll add that as our 15th game to this Wheel of Games, which will be launching fairly soon. But okay, so back to our Forge, what we're building. So on top of all of the actual utility that we're providing, we are going to start really pushing tournaments and engagement. That's why I'm holding this AMA now. We're going to try and do this on a weekly basis, where we'll be able to talk about everything that we've either built that week, or talk about what's coming in the next couple weeks, or whatever, and try to give you guys constant updates. I think communication is the most important thing, and many projects really struggle with that. I'm not saying I'm going to do it better, but I'm going to try, and we're going to try and be those people that help really show a transparent showcase of what we're building. So we're going to be doing these AMAs, which every week we'll then do this Wheel of Games, so that you can see what game we're going to be playing, and then there will be a poll afterwards, which will eventually be on the Forge, where you can select which game you think should be added to the Wheel of Games. And then every week we'll have a new game, and this wheel will also be on the Forge at some point as well, so that everyone can kind of figure out this way. We also know what games are trending, what games should we be pushing to the Web 2 gamers, so that they are like, okay, they're always being updated and shown what's really interesting and cool. So that's something that we'll be adding very soon. And then what else do we got? Any more comments? Nope. Okay. So there is, and also thank you, Barabonk, for your support there. I'm sure your breakthrough is just around the corner. Really, really, really appreciate it. The team is pretty happy that our price is stabilizing around 0.08. We think that that's a good sign that there's some support there, and then it's just starting to actually get these games onboarded, start to open that floodgate of gamers from the Web 2 side into Web 3, and then once we start seeing, hopefully, I think in the Discord we got 2 people in here now. Thanks, Kate Sith, for joining also. We're eventually going to push this so there is a lot more. I'm hoping to have 100 people in the Discord every time we have one of these AMAs, and then maybe next year we have 1,000. It's really, it should be ramping up pretty quick, and maybe that's too small thinking, but that's just what I'm trying to get to in the next couple weeks, to see what that is. But we need to get our baseline, what we can accomplish here. So yeah, and so with these tournaments, what we're going to be doing, and I'll go over what our new weekly community events kind of look like. So starting the week, we're going to have this AMA, which will then select the game. So that game will be kind of like our focus for the whole week. And then we're going to have a party game night where we just have something fun. Like maybe it's like, we're going and playing Fall Guys or some kind of like party game like that. Or I can't remember the game that we played the other day. It's like this game kind of like Among Us, but you're also, it's like a 3D. Really, really fun. I can't remember what it is. It's on Steam. But anyways, maybe we play Among Us or some of these other games. We just try to have fun. So we make a community that's enjoyable to be around, hang around. And then that every time a new Web 2 gamer comes in, maybe they don't want to like jump into a crypto game right away. They just want to like play a game they know. They can come in, play a party game with us. We hang out. They get to know some of the people that are in the Polemos community. Maybe we'll have a guild or a gaming DAO join us. They're able to talk about what they're doing, what makes their guild interesting, and then we all kind of just play together and start to build connections. Then that player will play a Web 2 parallel. So let's say we're playing off the grid. That's the game of the week. We're going to be playing Apex Legends or Call of Duty, in one of these kind of shooter extractions so that it matches what off the grid is. And so maybe they're really good at Apex Legends, and they're like, oh, they're stomping us. They're coming in and killing me off. And they're like, okay, this is really cool. Okay, I want to try the Web 3 version. They start playing off the grid. They start doing really well. Then they start seeing the earning potential. They start seeing the immersion that's added with NFTs. And like, I think that's the biggest element that is missed when you're talking about GameFi is having NFTs in game make it feel so much more realistic. Now, not everyone likes that, and I think that we're going to have a bounce rate of new players coming in, like we've already seen, because they don't want that. They just want something fun, casual, not super, intense. Which there are Web3 games like that. Like we have Moonfrost. If you're a casual gamer, definitely check out Moonfrost. That's a really fun casual game that they have. But in extraction shooters, having those as NFTs, that's so good. It just makes you sit up and then you're like ready to play. You get so much more into the game. So that's why I think that's one of the better genres to be incorporated into crypto. It's just, once again, shooters are one of the most competitive genres, and I think Off the Grid has done as best they can to try and pick that up. We got other games coming out too, like Shrapnel later on in the year, and some other shooters that are trying to also penetrate that intensely competitive market. But yeah, so we will then have that Web 2 game. Then we will, like, maybe on a Friday night, we're going to have like a skills workshop where maybe one of the guilds that are really focused in that game, they'll come out and they'll be like, okay, we're doing Raven Quest PvP. I'm going to show you guys the best build so you guys can go in and just wreck people 1v1. And so then we're going to have them kind of go through a nice skills and break down the fundamentals. Maybe it'll be a tutorial, just a beginner's kind of playthrough, teaching these Web 2 gamers how to enjoy this game. And so as those Web 2 gamers start to go, okay, this was cool, I now know how to play the game, then on Saturday or Sunday, we're going to hold a tournament or some kind of major event where we're going to also dish out some PLMS, make it a fun time, and the earning potentials will be there as well. And that'll hopefully bring in a whole bunch of other players from different guilds to come because they want to earn some. And then these Web 2 gamers are like, wow, okay, there's actually a gaming community here. And we just do this every week. And that's what we're really bullish on. We think that that's going to start to help make people feel interested in what Web3 is building. And they're going to find a crypto game that they like. They're going to tell their friends. And then it's going to start this trickle effect where people are just really excited. And hopefully it brings back life. Like, I don't know when you guys got into crypto, but for me, I've been in since 2017. But it wasn't until 2021 when I saw Axie Infinity explode, Illuvium, Star Atlas, these games that just started to like drop these really, really cool visions that maybe weren't met, but they brought a vision, and that brought a lot of hype with me, made me really excited for what they were building, and that's why I've been here, and I'm still here today. So I'm still hopeful and optimistic that there will be a game that can push through and will make a huge difference, and that's what we're betting on, and we're going to keep looking for that gem in the dirt. So that is what our weekly structure will look like. We're going to have quite a few Gleam and Zeely campaigns that'll be going on throughout the weeks also, so make sure to check those out. You'll have opportunities to earn PLMS, real assets. I think we gave away a mouse, a keyboard, really, really high-end gaming ones. So if you're trying to improve your rig, your setup, definitely want to check out those Gleam giveaways. And the Zeely events should be pretty intensive with lots of different ways to earn there. And so just specifically with our rewards, we will be breaking down what you can earn over the long time, because we want this to be a big progression thing, like over a season, over a year, you're going to be ranking up. And so you start at novice and you work your way up all the way to a brigadier general, and that'll come with perks as you scale up. And in all these points you're earning, we're planning on having a reward structure where you can convert and sell these points for items or raffles or PLMS tokens in general. So there'll be a variety of ways you can earn through this, and we want that to be meaningful as well. So stay tuned. We'll have more information on that fairly soon, including the leaderboard. So right now it looks like The leaderboard's at 1,200 for the weekly. We got 7,830 for the all-time. These guys are climbing. I'm only at 1,000. Obviously, this is a different account, but there's going to be some really cool stuff to go there. I got another question. It will take for GTA 6 to come out for GameFi to really take off? Are you going to have GTA 6 on PLMS? It's already something we have been doing a little bit of research on, and it is something that we will definitely be pushing for. I won't say that we have anything confirmed or not, but that's definitely something that GTA 6 is going to be massive, right? Everyone knows GTA 6 is going to be one of the biggest games to come out in who knows how long. And when it comes out next year, it's going to be crazy. And they've already pretty much confirmed that there's going to be crypto in there, so that's going to be really exciting. And there's more games that are more Web 2 games that are, or more Web 2 studios that are doing this. I don't know if you guys know, EVE Online just had a Web3 game, and I didn't even know about it. They did like a kind of like a stealth drop about 2 weeks ago. It's EVE Frontier, basically that the same game as EVE Online, but it's a survival game. Oh, it was actually really quite fun. As someone who grew up playing EVE Online when I was like a kid, really, really interesting what they're building there, and every asset like on there is going to be kind of like an NFT. So it's going to be really interesting what they do. But you also have the Sonium chain, you have Oasis. Those have big backings by other Web 2 gaming companies. And maybe all these Web 3 games that are out now, they're all going to fail, like totally fail. And then it's going to come down to one, like, Web 2 studio that's already been building AAA games for 20 years. They're going to come out and be like, okay, let's do a Web 3 game. Now that they've learned from all the failures, they're just going to come out and make a masterpiece, and it's going to absolutely explode. And that's what I am just waiting for. Obviously, I thought that was going to happen like a year or two ago because I saw the potential of how cool it is to have a game on the blockchain. But we're going to be really close to it, and hopefully that'll happen very soon. But, yeah. So, well, we'll see. GTA 6 definitely on there. I was playing that when I'd have to like sneak in when my parents were asleep just to be able to play it because they were like, no, you're not allowed to play this game. And then I'd be going around killing people. Yeah, good times. Probably bad for my psyche, but I'm happy I got to play it. Did I hear correctly that you said GTA 6 will include crypto? Yes, I've heard a lot of rumors that I think are pretty safe to say that it is going to have crypto in it for sure. So obviously that's not confirmed. I'm not going to make sure that I say that is not 100% confirmed, but from what I've heard, it is going to be in there for sure. So what else do I want to talk about on the agenda? So yeah, and so that's just my sessions particularly. We're going to be ramping this up huge. So, I mentioned we hired 4 new individuals this last week. We're going to be hiring another CM. We want a CM that's actually, so I'm based in the UK, even though I am American. And we want to have one that's based in one of the Americas, who also speaks Portuguese. We have a huge Portuguese. If anyone's from Tempest Guild or any of the South American guilds, huge shout out to you guys. Love the support. Thanks for all of your support in the last couple weeks. But we want to reach out and have a CM that can speak both English and Portuguese, and then that will cover the time zones. They'll host game events in the evening times for the Americas, covering hopefully into the Southeast Asia market as well, getting some players over there so that they are able to also interact with our gaming community. We have our Spanish CM who will be leading, as I mentioned earlier. He'll have an AMA and game night in 4 hours, 5 hours. So he'll also be hanging out. Obviously that'll be in Spanish, but hey, you can come play, get wrecked by the Spanish speaking players out there, or maybe fight them back. I don't know. But so that'll be happening later. So that'll be something really exciting to go. And so what we're trying to do is there should be events going on almost every hour of the day. And eventually I'll share an image of how many events we have planned throughout a day, and then what we're trying to just really make it a fun and inclusive community that then people can find a sub community that they really want to latch onto, and then they build actual best friends. Because that's what was lucky for me. I found this really, really cool group of gamers that were TFT pros that were looking for something new, and that's where they found Illuvium. Same with me. And I was like, okay, well, cool. Let's work together. Let's figure out the best way to optimize and really crush these tournaments. And so that's when we grouped together and made our own guild. And those friendships I still have today. I still talk to those guys. And that's what we want to build for all the Web2 gamers that are coming in. So hopefully we're able to bring that and make that a reality. That's one of my biggest visions. If I can do that, I feel really, really good that we did our job well. Awesome. Well, I think it's time that we figured out what our game of the week is. If there's anyone else, I don't have a 15th game, all right? What game are we missing that we need to add to this list? If you don't see a game that you think is good on here, write it now, and then we'll add that to the Wheel of Games. And we'll figure out what game we're going to be playing for the week. I'll start downloading if I don't have it for some reason. And then we'll potentially do our giveaway for the 150 PLMS. And yeah. I just realized my restream has this icon on it, and I think that's part of the issue. I think what's happened is this account doesn't have my premium, so maybe that's the problem we have right now. But whatever. Okay. Raven Quest. Do I not have Raven Quest on here? Oh my gosh, I don't have Raven Quest. How could I not have Raven Quest on there? Perfect. All right. Or maybe it was a reverse psychology. I knew someone would say Raven Quest, so I knew it. If you haven't been paying, that was the last major game that we really covered, and I think it was a really, really fun game with a lot of players at their hype. Obviously, they just launched their Idle version, which I haven't actually looked into just because we've been busy recovering from TGE. But if you, Barak, have you played much of the Idle? How is it? I'm very curious. I need to look into it more. I know there's a bunch of notifications in the Raven Quest server I need to check out. But that's cool. All right, we'll wait another minute or so for that. And then, yeah, we'll push this forward. And then because my Twitch is not working, which I don't understand why that's not happening, we may have to do just a wheel of names. And there's only like six people in there right now, so should be all right. And okay, oh, and also, if anyone from the Discord is asking questions, sorry, I'm missing that. Let's see, did you guys post a question? No, okay, good. All right, well then, we're going to launch this Raven Quest. It's postponed. Oh, okay, thanks, yep. I saw that one post on X that was saying that something was not correct, and I didn't see if there was like anything else that was going on with that, but cool. Either way, solid game. We're gonna click to spin. All right, we're gonna shuffle this list a couple times. Boom, 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 boom. All right, and then we're gonna. How many more shuffles? Should we want? We'll do 2 more shuffles. Okay, wow, it went Illuvium on the top either way. I don't know if that matters. Here we go. Clicking to spin. Here's the game of the week. Hopefully, it's a game I have installed already. If not, we will move forward, and it's looking like Aperion. Oh, it's Star Atlas. Okay, good. I haven't played Star Atlas in a while. Good moment. So we're going to be playing some Star Atlas this week. That's really interesting because I just finished playing EVE Online or EVE Frontier for the last week, and now we're going to be going to Star Atlas. So that'll be cool. Okay, so Star Atlas is the game we're going to be playing. So what we'll probably do is... Yeah, either way, we'll wait for it. But there'll be a poll of what Web 2 similar game. I don't know if we want to like play Star Citizen or EVE Online. But we'll have to play some kind of game that's similar to what they're building. Obviously, I think that they've changed their scope drastically. Anyone here play Star Atlas recently? How is it? I know that they started working on a shooter. I've seen quite a few gameplay there. I'm curious if it's any good. But we'll be finding out this week. It's been a long time since I played Star Atlas, so that'll be interesting. But okay, cool. So there is the Wheel of Names. I'll probably start that download in just a moment. Let's do... Oh, the Wheel of Spin. Now, let's actually get rid of all of these. And let's write down, if everyone could say... let's see. Just give me a W in the chat. Give me a W chat if you want to be in this wheel of names. I'll already start to record these. We got Bar Bonk. We got Great. And then for you guys to, whoever wins this, you will need to reach out to me on Discord. And then I'll confirm that we have the same person. All right. For those in the Discord, please tag me in this chat, and then I'll add you to the wheel of names also. Theo Katsith. If you write that somewhere, that'd be great. And then we can do the 150 PLMS giveaway. And you guys are lucky because there isn't that many people here on this week. So hopefully you guys got some really good odds here. See if you guys get that PLMS. Okay, actually, you know what? We'll just... Oh, this is a wayfinder. Hey, the Jokers. Boom. Katsith. Yo. Katsith. All right, so we got 5. You guys, a 1 in 5 chance right here. All right, that's looking pretty good. Okay, we're gonna shuffle this a lot, real quick. Get this a good shuffle. Okay, I think we'll just roll it 5 times. Whoever's last is actually going to be the one who gets it. All right. So if you get knocked out, you're getting knocked out if your name is selected. All right. So you don't want to get picked. Here we go. The first rotation. Who do we got knocked out first round is going to be Sabri001. You have been removed. You're not a winner, unfortunately. All right. We'll remove you. Bye-bye. Okay, boom. I know there's a way that I can actually automate this, so it automatically removes it. And this. All right, the final round right here. All right, whoever doesn't get selected wins the game, wins the 150 PLMS, and it's going to go to Katsith. All right, Katsith, I see you in the Discord. DM me real quick, and then I'll get you a wallet, or send me a DM me your wallet, and then we'll make sure that you get that. Sorry, Barabonk, you did not get it. Katsith is the winner. I'll take a screenshot of that real quick, just for records. All right, cool. So we're playing SpaceX. What did I just say? Star Atlas, and we're doing Katsith won the first 150 PLMS. We're gonna have a couple more giveaways throughout the week, so you're definitely gonna want to stay tuned for all of that. And let's just double check if there's any more questions. Barbar says, "Grats." He's probably this person's probably really unhappy. No, I didn't get it. Unfortunate, but yeah. So there we go. There's that. And do we have anything else to talk about on the agenda? Yeah. Once again, I just want to say thanks again for everyone who helped us with the TGE, who have trusted us with their investment. We're going to do everything we can to make this token explode. We want that to be an incredibly useful token that's going to be just constantly in use and will add value to the people who hold it. So that's all I've got for the AMA portion of this. We are going to do a game night in the Discord. We're going to play some Star Atlas if you guys want to play, and that's how we're going to wrap this up. We're right an hour roughly, so that's pretty good. 5 minutes from it. So yeah, this is looking like a pretty good setup for us to go over things, and I want to thanks again to everyone here. I'll see you guys later. Caveman logging out.